There is another State Department warning out there that the Trump administration is giving to Americans who are currently residing in this country. I want you to leave a comment down below if you know what the country is, because President Donald Trump is on standby telling Twitter and everybody online that he is coming to save the Iranians. And of course, the way that he's going to save the Iranians is through airstrikes and maybe other stuff. He says he's looking at his options. But the State Department just a day ago said, if you are an American person, a citizen that is currently residing in Iran or even in the region, you want to leave immediately.
Yeah, things are escalating. We definitely see what's going on in Iran with the protests, and a lot of people are being unalive with that. So I want to say a couple weeks ago, President Trump was like, hey, if one person, two person, three person is unalive, I'm going to come in and save them. So it's a lot that's going on. Like I say, if it's not one thing, it's another. You know us, we are going to keep you guys updated, especially the folks that are traveling and expats and want to go to different nations. I know a lot of people don't want to go to Iran, but in that region, you got to be careful when you are flying. So yeah, stay tuned to the end. Make sure you like the video, comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And let's get right into it.
Yes, because civil unrest and these demonstrations against the Iranian government are happening in real time. The photos paint a clear picture. Iran is basically on fire. They are ready to get rid of the Ayatollah, which is the leader of Iran. The Iranian people are crying out and they are protesting like something I've never seen before. But allegedly, Iran has unalived at least 600 people of their own nation in the country. And so President Trump is telling everybody, hey, I'm about to come in. I'm coming to your rescue. And Iranians are going on social media begging President Donald Trump to do something about their Ayatollah. And then they have continued internet outages. Now, if you've lived in Africa, or more specifically East Africa, you know that internet outages are a thing during presidential elections. It's a bit of a tactic of a dictatorship, like some of the ones in the Islamic world, and they will cut the internet out so that you do not see what's happening in the country, so the citizens cannot cry out for help. And so the demonstrations were happening, they were taking photos, but now the internet is out, so everybody's like, we actually have no idea what's going on. And even in Qatar, we almost flew through Doha, Qatar to come to Africa, but went through Turkish Airlines in Istanbul instead. Even in Qatar, they're warning people. They see American jets, fighter jets, on the border of Qatar because Qatar is an American ally. Okay, so this is making travel and communication much harder, if not difficult. And no U.S. embassy or direct consular services are even available in Iran. That's a little scary, huh? If you're in Iran, I mean, I wouldn't be in Iran. I wouldn't be up there in the Middle East at all right now. But if you're someone traveling through, like some of our clients in the state of the diaspora, who just happened to land recently in Mauritius, sometimes you have to fly through Dubai. At least they're getting here safely, right? Dubai is a neutral territory and is having alliances with America as well. But like I said, the U.S. government will not assist in an evacuation out of Iran. So you want to be very careful of the places where you're going to, which is why I'm happy to tell you about the State of the Diaspora, the 17th edition. Now, the only bad part that I have to tell you, there's a little bit of bad news. This channel gets about 256,000 views per month. And so if you're not subscribed, if you're not watching every video, when we announce these things, the tickets go pretty quickly. Right now, there are already 4 people. We announced this 2 days ago. 4 people in the urgent state of the diaspora that are going to join the group with 40 of our other clients who have already taken the previous states of the diaspora where they have their 5-in-1 40-page workbook going over the easiest countries to live in sub-Saharan Africa and beyond. We listed 25 banks that they can look into while they're in Africa. A lot of people ask us in the state of the diaspora, they say, can I just open a remote bank account from where I am? Well, not in sub-Saharan Africa. You can do so in somewhere like China if you have a business, but sub-Saharan Africa is not that technologically advanced to the point they allow you to get these things done while you're in America. And so it does require a flight. But what we're seeing right now amongst clients, even in the mature adult intensive, which you can also check out at the link in the description, is that they are not wasting time.
Yeah.
In record numbers, clients are deciding, I'm going to hop on that plane right now. I'll sell my house while I'm abroad because I can get a power of attorney before leaving America, sign all my documents, and collect my resources while I'm abroad like we did. These are some of the legalities that you need to understand. But if you're listening and learning from people who have not gone through this route, then it'll sound foreign to you. But I digress.
Yeah, the sooner the better. That's what's happening right now. We see a lot of turmoil that's happening in the world right now. So the sooner, if you are looking to move, if you are looking to travel, the sooner the better, because things are just going to keep getting worse. It's going to keep escalating to the point where everywhere is going, like all the flights is going to be affected to get to your destination. So I don't want to put a time frame on it, but these next couple months is going to be very interesting. That's why we say this is not something that you are going to play with. You got to be serious. And we talk to our clients like, hey, this is what it is. This is the truth. This is what's happening. When you get here, you have to settle down. You really got to understand that the countries that you choose needs to be sustainable for you. And there's a lot of people that choose different countries that's going to be difficult for them. So it's time. It's really time to buckle down, put your seatbelt on, because it is going to be something a little bit challenging, but you can do it if you have that plan in place, if you have that strategy in place. And this is what we go over in the State of Diaspora in the Mature Adult Intensive. So check the links in the description, and I digress.
Yes, that's true, because you also need to be aware and be in community. But here's a tip for you if you are in Iran, or if you're just wondering, like, what would people in Iran who are Americans do right now? Well, you could leave by land if you cannot fly out. If no airplanes are getting out right now, I'm assuming they can even see these notices, because again, the internet's down in the country. So I'm not even sure if they're getting these notices. I'm sure maybe they send them to each other in like Iranian expat groups, maybe. This is just me guessing. But America's telling them they can leave by land to Turkey or Armenia. Turkey tends to be a neutral country. Armenia tends to be somewhat neutral. And so that's pretty much their only option. If they're not flying out, you can go to Armenia or Turkey. And again, they reiterate, do not count on the US government for help. I think that is so interesting. So you can decide quickly to fly or drive. This is why we say it's important to understand the region and the air routes that you are in. We talk about this with our clients. We understand that where we're positioned in Mauritius, Africa, we can get to Dubai, India, China, South Africa, Kenya very quickly via a direct flight, Madagascar, La Réunion, which is technically France. We understand the region that we are in and the there's a multitude of routes that we can take if needed, if we wanted to do that. Not all countries are like that. There are landlocked countries, or countries that are just by the sea, or countries that, maybe they're bordering a unstable region like Egypt. Egypt borders a very unstable region all around, because next to Egypt is Israel. To the south of Egypt and to the west are the Libyas and the Sudans. And so it's a very, quakey kind of territory where you really have to play your cards right. And then in West Africa, tensions are heating up in the Sahel Alliance. Americans cannot enter Burkina Faso, Mali, or Niger. And so now you have to say, okay, if I'm in Ghana, I could go to Sierra Leone. How long's the flight going to be? It's going to be more pricey flying from one West African country to the other. So you may want to go to South Africa. These are the things that you have to keep in mind. Also, keep an eye on East Africa, more specifically Somalia, Eritrea, and Ethiopia. Because when wars heat up, Western powers and Arabian powers as well like to pull tensions into that area with Somaliland. We know Israel is saying Somaliland is an independent country. We may now have 55 countries on the African continent. And so Africa is not necessarily unifying. Africa is dividing continuously. That's another country that's being opened. And the Israelis said they're potentially going to live there and, they're going to take over. And they need a safe spot because they understand the geographical region they chose as Israel in 1945 is not safe in World War III. It's really like it's a hot red target zone. So they're like, okay, we have to get our elites out of here. So they're like, hey, let's just go to Somaliland. Now, I want to leave you with this. You want to pack light and essential: passport, cash, meds, chargers, one change of clothes, water, snack if you are in these dangerous territories like in Iran or Venezuela. Assume internet outages. That means you have to pre-download your maps and screenshots of addresses and bookings. Tell one trusted person your exit plan, times, route, vehicle info, even if they're not in the country. Have a quiet phone mode, okay? So remove sensitive apps and messages, maybe remove social media. Turn off location sharing publicly because you are coming into country. A lot of Americans don't realize when you're going into the Islamic world, you are coming into countries where dictators operate differently than a President Biden or Donald Trump. I mean, President Trump is getting closer to that territory, but truly, some of these countries that you go to, you had better understand their laws and rules because some may go by Islamic laws and rules. Some may be like, no, you better not take that head wrap off, that hijab off. Some may look at you like, no, you're an American, you need to get out of here. Because again, Mexico, Venezuela, and Colombia, they're having paramilitary hunt down Americans right now. So let's be real here. And then keep proof of identity by hand. Don't unnecessarily flash your U.S. identity like an American flag on your shirt. Like, that's totally unnecessary in 2026. When the world is side-eyeing America. But keep your passport copies, your IDs, your birth certificates, your marriage certificates on hand. And if you're stuck, shelter in a secure location. Stock essentials, keep a low profile, and wait for a safe window of escape.
Yeah, that's the name of the game, is to blend in. So pretty much everywhere we go, everyone speaks to me in Creole or French. And it's like, oh, I don't know it. But as soon as I open my mouth, they be like, oh, where are you from? So you just got to know how to blend in, walk like the people, act like the people in a way, because that's going to benefit you in the long run. You just got to know how to blend in when you are traveling, when you are moving to a country. You do not want to stand out in the times that we are in. You really don't.
Yeah, but the other part of that is that you look Mauritian.
Yeah.
So if you are of African descent, this is why it's important to come to Africa. Because you're right. When I go in the mall, if I go to the nail salon, a new lady will come up and she'll speak in Creole. And I'm like, oh, English, sorry. And they even leave comments on the videos, wow, you look Mauritian. And so this is why it's important to come to sub-Saharan Africa, where it's not just explicitly obvious that you're not one of those people.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll leave you with. Shalom, shalom. We'll see you in the next video. Or y'all, I doubt that y'all are going to Iran, but where are you going? What do you think of what's happening with Americans in Iran? And do you think President Trump is going to invade it the way he did Venezuela? Is he going to steal the Ayatollah? Or is he still even deciding what he's going to do with the Ayatollah in Iran?
Yeah, so shalom family. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we will talk to you in the next one.